Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my Lady Boss YouTube channel. I know that I have not been posting lately. I kind of got busy with a couple other things. I had to really take some time to study for my real estate license renewal. And so with that being said, now that that's taken care of, I've renewed my license, got that done, and then all of a sudden, this whole entire coronavirus thing somewhat hit. And, that really did shift a lot of things as well too. So, but other than that, I just wanted to kind of hop back on here, and I'm going to start posting, regular videos again every single Thursday. And this video is really going to tailor into, the self-quarantine and how we're staying at home and working from home and all of that stuff. That's what this video is going to be tailored about. But pretty much before I do get started into that video, I just wanted to say, during this time, the world has definitely, came to a halt. There's a lot of things that have shifted. There's a lot of things that have changed over time. And honestly, at the beginning, of course, we're all creatures of habit. And at the beginning when this whole thing happened, a lot of us were probably not happy with it. A lot of us weren't happy with the changes that we had to make. Even me, myself personally, I, was kind of throwing fits here and there. But as time went on and, that this became the new normal, we just needed to learn how to adjust. We needed to learn how to change up our daily routines. We needed to change up how we work and just being accustomed to being at home. So even with all these changes, that's where it's time to actually really think about how we can work on ourselves, how we can work on our businesses and being better in our careers or being better entrepreneurs or anything like that. And just focus on those things right now because we do have so much time on our hands because we do have to stay, solidified in our homes. And this is something where I feel like it's super important. And, instead of going the lazy route and just complaining all the time about all of this stuff, this is the time to really get things in order for yourself and really get your life back on track and just take all that extra time that you didn't have before and implement those things now that you have that time. And also the other thing too is that a lot of the stuff before all of this quarantine stuff happened, we took for granted. So this is the time to be grateful for your health, to be grateful that you have a job, to be grateful that you were able to actually go outside to the beach and walk along the boardwalk and, hang out and play on the sand, So all of these things are definitely teaching us something. And this is where it's time to really take a lot of that into consideration, being grateful, being appreciative for everything that you have. So we're going to hop right into this video and we're going to talk about the 10 things that you can do when we're self-isolating and staying at home. My tip number 1 from what you can do from home while we're on quarantine is to still work out. So yes, of course, all the gyms are closed. We can't go work out anymore. But the fact is that you can still do at-home workouts. You can work out in your garage. You can work out outside. You can work out on your back patio, whatever it is. You can still get a pretty decent workout in. So of course, we don't have the same type of equipment or same type of weights that we did when we did go to the gym. But the fact is that you can be creative. You can use body weight. You can use your household items as things to use for weights. Like I know people have been using water bottles, toilet paper, there's so many different types of things that are around your house that can actually be switched out and used as weights. So be creative. Just because we are stuck at home doesn't mean that you can be lazy, slack off, because there are other options out there for you. And to be honest, there's so many different types of platforms like Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube that all have, at-home workout programs that you can copy, and most of them are free. So there's so many different types of platforms that you can use to get creative and get ideas. So you can definitely switch things up a little bit, but still get a good workout in. Another thing that you can go ahead and do during this time is to strategize your finances. So I'm pretty sure a lot of people have taken for granted their jobs that they had. You didn't appreciate it, you complained about it, or whatever it is. But in this time and what we're dealing with today, many people have got their hours cut. Some people don't even have a job anymore. And, now that we're in this whole entire situation, it's time to really get that wake-up call. Because prior to this whole thing happening, maybe people weren't really good at saving their money, and making that a big priority. And now, you're kind of somewhat, kind of screwed. But the fact is that, now that you have realized of how important it is to really save and get your finances in line, because no one knew this was ever going to happen to us. But the fact is, those people who were actually good at saving, they're not tripping out right now. It's those people who didn't get all of that stuff in order. So this is the time to really kind of like write out and strategize a budgeting plan. Or you can even go back and look at all your bank statements and all the charges that you've made and how much money you're spending on certain items. You know, maybe there's certain things that you can cut out that you don't really need or it's not necessary. Just be aware of how you're spending your money, because now's the time that a lot of people are cutting back on certain things. They're not spending as much money anymore. So this is a perfect time to go ahead and strategize your finances. My suggestion number 3 for what you can do during self-isolation is to change your scenery. So what I mean by that is, you know, during the week while we're working from home, maybe during one of your lunch breaks, you can go ahead and take your food and eat outside in your backyard or your back patio just to get some vitamin D, some sunlight, and just, you know, get outside for a little bit. Another thing that you can do too is maybe change up your work environment and like what you're doing. So of course, do this with caution and be very careful and be very safe, but maybe there's like a common area where you can go by yourself, or maybe there's like a pool area in your complex that you can go ahead and kind of sit at just to change up your scenery from what you were doing from working when you were in your house. Or another suggestion on what you can do as well too is maybe take a drive, maybe go somewhere where you can watch the ocean and just drive along the coast. Or you can maybe take some walks. I know a lot of people are taking walks now, walking their dog, you know, running, biking, whatever it is, to just get outside for a little bit. So these were just a couple things that you can do so you're not always cooped up in the house and not going stir crazy while we're on this quarantine. My next suggestion is doing healthcare routines. So to be honest, during this quarantine, I have been lounging around in my gym clothes. I have not been wearing makeup and not doing my hair. By far, honestly, I think this is the best thing that I really love about quarantine, is because, you know, I always have to like get dressed up for work, wear heels, wear nice clothes, do my hair, do my makeup all the time. So it's really nice to just wake up and just not have to do any of that stuff. It's super easy, super simple, and I love it so far. But pretty much partaking in those healthcare routines, like do your skincare routines, do your hair routine. It's just one of those things where it's nice to kind of like give yourself a little home pamper during this time, because you have a lot more time, you're not so rushed. You know, these are the times to kind of just give yourself a little extra treatment and a little extra love during this time, because yes, it is a hard time, but you know, still give yourself that self-pamper and it'll still feel really nice. My next recommendation is to organize around your house. So a lot of times everybody puts this off because they're like, oh, we're too busy, I'll do this next week, or I'll do it the following weekend or whatever. So this is the perfect time, because you do have the time to organize things that you haven't been able to do. So this comes down to like even organizing your kitchen cabinets, like rearranging your pots and pans, your spice racks, your forks, knives, plates, whatever it is, or even, you know, organizing your hallway closets, because we all know that we jam-pack things in our hallway closets and we don't really kind of touch it after that. Or you can even go ahead and organize your garage. Maybe this is the time to organize some shelves, or, you know, organize your tool section, or just declutter certain things in your garage. This is the perfect time to get certain things organized that you haven't done around the house in for however long. Another recommendation that I have for you is do some research. So during this time, you know, this is the time to really better yourself and just kind of pick and choose the next moves and kind of make a path for yourself for your future. So whether it's researching how to start an online business or start a side business, that's a great thing that you can do during this time. And, you know, another thing that you can do is research stocks. So this is actually something that I'm doing too. So research stocks right now, because if you have the finances to be able to purchase stocks after we get out of this whole thing, you will go ahead and make a big, huge financial jump for yourself. So that's something that you can do during this time. Or what you can even do, say if you've always said that you wanted to create your own YouTube channel or create your own podcast, this is the time to research on how you can go ahead and get started, because this is the perfect time for you to kind of revamp what you've always wanted to do, or the goals and the dreams that you did have. Another suggestion that you can go ahead and do is create an online book club. So a lot of times I know that certain people have their own personal book clubs that they do, but they have to go over to someone's house or they meet at a certain location to do these book clubs. But use Zoom, use video conferencing, use like FaceTime. You can go ahead and still have your book clubs with your friends, do wine and book nights or whatever it is that you want to do. But that's still a creative way to still have some social interactions with your friends or family members. And also too, it's a great time to catch up on some reading and read the books that you've always wanted to read. My next suggestion is to reorganize or redecorate your house. So I'm not saying to go and buy, new furniture or go and buy new decor pieces or anything like that. I'm talking about taking the items that you already currently have in your house and just reorganizing or redecorating things. So what you can do is you maybe can move certain couches a certain way or pictures and change them and put them in different rooms or different decor pieces and just kind of just switch things up a little bit, because if you're constantly in your house all the time, it's something too where it can also help you feel like you're in a different space when you wake up the next morning. My suggestion number 9 for what you can do during self-quarantine is to declutter, donate, or sell your items. So this is also a great time to go through your closet, to go through your dresser drawers, to go and see what type of clothing, shoes, purses, jewelry, anything that you do not use anymore. This is a great time to minimalize and be minimalistic. And it's great now to be able to donate those items, or what you can do too is you can sell them so you can maybe make a little bit extra cash during this time as well too. My last and final tip is to do DIY projects. So these are for my more creative people out there, or if you're one who wants to become more creative, this is a perfect time to do something like this. So say for example, maybe you want to do a painting or just do new artwork to hang up in your house. Buy a blank canvas and just start going to town on doing a new painting. Or also what you can do as well too, and this is something that I've seen in the past that people have done, is where they'll take like a coffee table and they'll make it look more of like that rustic look where they'll paint it and then sand it in certain areas. Like that's definitely something that you can do. So there's so many different types of DIY projects out there. You can research this on YouTube. There's also different things that you can just, search the web for, to be honest, just type it in Google. So if you wanted to try something like this, this is the perfect time to do DIY projects. Alright you guys, I'm going to close out this video. I hope that you did enjoy some of the tips and suggestions that I did have for what you can do at home right now since we're in this quarantine. We're doing this together. But the fact is that life is still moving forward and you still have to go with the flow of everything. You got to keep pushing forward and we're going to all get through this together. So hopefully you can use some of these tips to implement into your daily routines now, because we do have to adapt. It's something that we have to do, and this is the perfect time to work on certain things, to work on yourself, and just to appreciate so much and everything that you do currently have. So thank you so much for watching. I do really appreciate it, and I will see you all in my next week's video. Thank you so much. Bye guys.